Hello, my name is LeftWing, and welcome to Debrief, a show where I pick apart a kill and tell you why it was successful. This episode's footage is in a fight between GimJeongIl, a Terran playing as engineer, and HughBack, a Vanu playing as infiltrator. The kill takes place at ISA Tech Plant on Esamir at the southeast forward base. The territory was owned by the Terran Republic, with the Vanu sovereignty pushing in from the forward bases. Let's look at the kill. The battle begins with Gim taking shots at a fleeing Vanu. He ducks behind cover once he starts being hit, then scopes in and peers over the edge of the rocks again. He swings his gun to a new target inside the room and is able to hit him a couple of times before backing off and reloading his empty gun. He glances around him and sees TyPi joining him on the rocks. He peers back over to shoot inside the room again and successfully picks up a kill. He backs off again to reload, glances behind himself, seeing TyPi die. He runs forward towards his body. He immediately starts to shoot down and knife the approaching Vanu infiltrator, picking up the kill before getting back into cover. This kill is a very interesting one, mostly because of the fact GimJeongIl is at a massive disadvantage going into the battle. This is because initially he reveals his forward location to all of the Vanu in the area when he shoots towards the person fleeing the battlefield. They are able to halve his shields before he can duck behind cover again. As he does not pick up the kill, him revealing his position has been a waste. Had he not wasted shots on a fleeing target and waited for an easier kill instead, he would have been in a much better position going into the fight. After this, he glances back over the rock more carefully this time, so as not to be shot at immediately. Realizing his original target is gone, he shifts his focus to the room he sees to be filled with Vanu. At this point, most of the people in that room are aware of his position from the dot on their minimaps and the gunshots he was sending past the room to the fleeing target, making him easy to kill if he is not careful. Fortunately, he is careful and ducks back behind cover as his automatic reload kicks in. He sees TyPi joining him up on the rock. This is important as it's TyPi's death that causes GimJeongIl to check for enemies when he encounters the infiltrator later on in the fight. When he scopes back in, he glances up to make sure the guy coming over the roof isn't a major threat, and to gun him down if he turns out to be. He then looks down and begins shooting into the room again, securing himself a kill. His ammo is low from the kill, and so he decides to fall back and reload, rather than scouting for the person who left the building moments before his kill. This decision is an important one, as at the time he was presented with two choices: either attempt to fight someone who is likely to have a full clip of ammo loaded, or to back off and reprioritize targets. He chooses the latter, and as he reloads he turns around to check behind himself. Seeing TyPi die, he moves forward to see if he can identify the killer. There are a few possibilities for what killed him, and as the number of deaths occurring meant that TyPi's death was not shown in detail in the top right, it is impossible to tell which one without checking. Either TyPi was sniped by a faraway target, in which case that snipe was likely reloading or unscoped and stealthed again, so glancing out would be safe. An enemy is rushing the rock to try and take them out, in which case coming around the corner would reduce the enemy's benefit of surprise and swing the fight in his favour. Or he was shot from someone inside the room which is line of sight on the rock, in which case glancing out will cause GimJeongIl to take some hits, however he would likely be able to duck behind cover again and live. The likelihood is checking if he can tell what killed TyPi is not going to get him killed, and as such he moves forward to check. His decision proved advantageous, and he was able to get early shots off on the infiltrator rushing the rock before he was able to unstealth. Whether or not it was this infiltrator that killed TyPi, I am unsure, as I cannot find TyPi's death in the combat roll. However, with the early shots on HughBack because he is stealthed and the knife finisher, GimJeongIl is able to kill HughBack whilst only taking his shields and a third of his health as damage. The interesting thing about this kill is GimJeongIl's decision to check around himself after he picks up the first kill. Falling back and reloading after a kill is something a large number of players do. However, likely due to their forward position and the number of people who are aware of it, he decides to check around him, and this is the reason the kill was a success, and why he didn't end up with a Vanu standing over his dead body. Thank you for watching the second episode of Debrief. If you have any comments, leave them below, and if you have a video you want me to review and do a debrief of, send it to me or leave it as a video response.